Ladies and gentlemen, today is a new day, and you would think, with all the good news we've been getting for the Switch 2, that trend would continue. But today we woke up to some news that really has me scratching my head and questioning Nintendo's tactics moving forward. So let's go ahead and get right into this video. Yeah, every day we've been getting pretty cool news, really exciting announcements. We have the Mario Direct tomorrow for the movie. Nintendo just made that really cool website. Things have been going in a good direction, but now I'm not so sure. And what I'm talking about is Pokemon Pokopia. I think that's how it's pronounced. Yeah, they just laid out a bunch of news randomly. Not very exciting stuff. So before we get started, if you could hit a like and subscribe, that would truly mean the world to me. Follow me on Instagram and Twitter so we can keep these communities growing. Let's just go ahead and get right into this one. This game was announced, I want to say, maybe a month or two ago, or whenever the last Nintendo Direct we had was. I think it looks interesting. You're a Ditto, and you take the form of a human, and it's essentially like Stardew Valley, Animal Crossing, Pokemon crossover mashup. You see the vibes for the game, and I don't know if I was ever going to pick this one up. I'm a huge Pokemon fan, but I do think it looks interesting, and I do think there's something there, but it was never something that made me think, yeah, I've got to buy that right away. Now, we never knew the price of this game, and, Doug Bowser said for the Switch 2 generation, there's going to be variable pricing, and this is in fact a Switch 2 exclusive. This will not be on the Switch. So, you hear that, you see this gameplay, and you think, yeah, maybe it's an eShop only exclusive, or whatever, but it's probably going to be like $40, and that's a fair price. Well, it turns out that is not the price. And not only is the price an issue with me, pretty much everything else across the board is, and I think this maps out some stuff moving forward for the Switch 2 generation. So Pokemon Pokopia is $70. You heard that correctly. Donkey Kong Bonanza was $70. Cyberpunk was $70. Pokemon Legends EA was $70. And I'm actually playing it on the Switch 2 right now. You guys know I've been overseas for like a month, so I finally picked it up, and I'm loving the game. It's really, really good. This is on the same level as Pokemon Legends EA. $70? Are you out of your damn mind? Let's push back, right? Let's try to argue for the other side. Maybe this game is going to be content packed. There's just so much going into it. It's not what you see is what you get. It's once you start playing, there's just so many secrets and there's just so many things to do. And off trailers, you can never really know, right? Just seeing gameplay, you could never really know. But one thing we can do is go look at how much storage this game is going to take up. Well, the game is only taking up 10 gigabytes. Now, that doesn't mean there's not a lot going on, but it also doesn't mean it's just packed to the brim full of stuff to do. So for a game like this, I do think that's fair. Farming simulator, Pokemon stuff going on, cute art style. I do think the art style actually is really strong as well. I think the graphics look really interesting, really neat. But again, 10 gigabytes. $70 for a 10 gigabyte game? You've already kind of lost me there. And like I said earlier, it was never something I was really going to jump on right away anyway. So I don't want to be biased just based off my own feelings towards the game. But one thing we can always look forward to, at least in the Switch 2 generation, this is a first-party Nintendo game. So at least we know this is something that, unfortunately, it's very expensive, and it's not the biggest game, but at least it's something we can buy physically, put up on the shelf, and have another true physical game to add to our Switch 2 collection. And any other generation, you would say, well, of course, but I'm not going to repeat everything you've already heard about game key cards. Well, at least not yet. But this generation is just different. Well, guess what? I am here to piss in your Cheerios for breakfast. Unfortunately, you just got up, and I'm here to start your day off horribly. This is a game key card. Yes, I know, we've already had the conversation. A lot of you guys do not care. That's fine. But this has no argument to be a game key card. This is a first-party Nintendo game. I don't know any arguments you could possibly have for this. Now, the reason why we get game key cards is Nintendo, unfortunately, has not released multiple game cartridges yet. I think there's only a 16 gigabyte and a 64 gigabyte, if I'm not mistaken. This game is 10 gigabytes. This could fit on any cartridge, but they're doing a game key card. Now this could boil down to, this is actually the Pokemon company doing this, and Nintendo has no say. Sure, let's split the blame 50-50, but no matter who's getting the blame, it's inexcusable. And the reason why I think this is also kind of Nintendo's doing, we see the trend in gaming. I've seen a graph recently, but it was like 55% physical buying and gaming and 45% digital, but the gap is closing, quickly. And I think Nintendo was one of the last companies that had a pure 50-50 split. What I think is Nintendo sees the trend and they really don't care either way. So not to go all over the place, I have some thoughts actually I need to interject here. The reason why game key cards are so bad, at least in my opinion, it's not just, it's not a physical. Whatever the worst thing about digital games are, you get that. Whatever the worst thing about physical games are, you get that as well. So there really is no benefits at all for getting a game key card. Unless the game is too taxing and the download speeds are too much, you're not getting that. That argument holds no weight here. But what I think Nintendo is seeing is the digital sales trends, they're kind of taking over. And if I had to guess, this generation, we're going to get a Nintendo Switch 2 Lite. It just makes the most sense. It will be a budget console. But the way they're going to make it a budget console is they're going to cut out physical entirely. And I think they're going to start dipping their toes in more game key cards. I would say for bigger games, but for small games like this, I just don't understand it. But we're going to start seeing more first-party game key cards as we go. Maybe it will be more of these spin-off games we get. But I think maybe by next holidays or the beginning of 2027, we're going to get that Nintendo Switch 2 Lite. And I think it's going to be a 100% digital console. And I think this is Nintendo just kind of preparing us for that. So this sucks. Pokopia, I think that's what it's called. What a dumbass name, by the way. This is just a catalyst to get us into this conversation. I don't really have any real beef with this game. The game looks fine, but just everything about the game is stupid. The price is stupid. The storage size is 10 gigabytes, but it's a game key card. Oh yeah, and on top of this, in Japan, this game was like 8,000 or 8,700 yen or something like that. I don't know the exact number, but it actually equals out to almost $80 in Japan. So what is going on with this pricing here? Yes, this is the variable pricing we heard about, but it just seems to not be consistent or make sense pretty much anywhere at all. So I think this does not bode well for future physical games for the Switch 2. And obviously I've told you my opinions about the game key card a million times. This is really stupid. I don't want to see Nintendo do game key cards for first party stuff. But I cannot get my head wrapped around the damn pricing for this. Like, this is the same exact price as Pokemon Legends EA. It just does not make sense at all. So unfortunately, this is probably a trend we're going to see moving into 2026. And that does not make me excited. Yeah, this is the second video of the day. This one was kind of a rant, but stuff like this, it's like hard for me not to talk about because it's just so stupid. I always felt like Nintendo was going to be the company to hold on to physical the longest. And this is a game, 100%, I will be skipping. I thought maybe, I'll buy that. Maybe I'll get it on sale for $30. The game will be $40. I'll find it on sale for $30. I'll try it out. This is a game I know 100% I will now be skipping. So, yeah, those are my thoughts. Let me know yours down in the comments. And you guys know me. I'll see you very soon with a new video. Peace out.